Nero, the crazy Roman emperor with an even crazier mother who tried to kill him, and who also allegedly let his city burn while he played live music. History does not remember this guy in the best of light. Oh wait, wrong history lesson. Okay, let's try this one more time. The Nero is probably the very definition of a sleeper unit. At the time of making this video, it currently only has a level 1 stuck at 450. Unfortunately for it, the roster is stacked at 450 for generals. As a result, it is often overlooked and forgotten about. I'm sure there are many veteran players who have had the Nero for years, but often forget that they are in possession of it. That's not to say that it's a bad mobile suit, but like many things in this game, the reality is a little more complicated. I myself am guilty of forgetting about it. If I remember correctly, it was first made available through limited missions. It's been so long that I can't really remember though, so that could be wrong. Either way, I do remember using it early on and liking it. As far as mobility and skills go, the Nero does fine at 450 and can be appealing to many players. The issue comes with its weapons. Aside from a solid beam rifle, its secondary weapons require the user to get creative. Every match will essentially come down to a certain combination of skill and luck, with only one flash grenade and one Stromfast. I like to think of it as a mobile suit without the training wheels, or more like driving stick shift instead of automatic. In a way, it sort of reminds me of the Gundam itself when used with the beam rifle. The only big difference is that the Gundam has a level 3 melee priority. In any case, it is meant to fight at close range more than mid-range, ideally for quick hit-and-run attacks. When used properly, it can be a real threat to anyone, even to supports. While it is not often spotted out in the wild, when it is, it will remind everyone that it exists. It can hit hard and fast, and can very easily stand on its own against other 450 cost mobile suits. Along with its good looks, it is also only one of a very small list of mobile suits that fires blue beams and uses blue beam sabers, bringing with it a unique taste and style. So if all I said is true, why then is it so rarely used by other players? Well, the answer is that there is basically a lot of competition at 450. For example, there is a Jada and the GM3 Power that appear to be a lot safer and easier to use. There is also the Grunt King himself, the GM3. A handful of Galgoogs and Pale Riders, among others, can also be found in the same cost range, not to mention the Alex with the beam rifle that has a lower heat rate. And even though it is a raid, there is also the Nero Trainer. A simple solution to buff the Nero and to make it more appealing to players is by lowering the heat rate of the beam rifle. In a perfect world, that would be the answer. It can even be similar to the Zero Shiki with its beam rifle. The Zero Shiki, interestingly enough, also suffers from a similar problem in that it is also often overlooked for other mobile suits at its cost range. The major difference, however, being that the Zero Shiki's beam rifle has a very good low heat rate. Unfortunately for the Nero, in this reality there is a problem with lowering the heat rate of its beam rifle. It's not exactly its fault, more so the fault of a raid, because its brother, the Nero Trainer, shares the exact same beam rifle with it. And do we really want to buff the Nero Trainer? This thing. I don't think so. It already is a solid raid with an annoying melee focus. Sorry, raid mains. Also, unlike the regular Nero, the Nero Trainer has an additional secondary weapon with head Vulcans, and also comes in a level 2 for 500 cost matches. I believe this is the same reason why the ground type beam rifle has also yet to receive a buff. It would upset the balance for many other mobile suits that use it, and so one solution to fix everyone's problems won't work. Therefore, it might be better to raise the range strength of the Nero by 10 points instead. If that doesn't work, then the regular Nero could be given head Vulcans for an additional secondary weapon option as well. But as far as I can tell, I don't think the head of the Nero has the option for Vulcans. I'm not all that familiar with the manga that it is from, so someone let me know in the comments if it ever had head Vulcans. Looking at the head in the hanger, however, it doesn't seem like it has that option, sort of like the Mark III. Now, if the previous two ideas don't pan out, then the only thing I can think of is to give it 2 flash grenades instead of 1. It's either that or give it a level 3 melee priority like the Gundam and the Easy 8. On the skill side of things, I think it's fine as is. I can't think of anything it needs to improve its movement or overall performance. This is why I also think it could be argued that the Nero is fine as is. On the rare occasions that it is seen out of the wild, it almost never is seen struggling. Perhaps this is one mobile suit reserved for a specific type of player with a certain type of taste who wants to take the training wheels off. Despite its limited secondary options on paper, it can still stunlock someone 3 to 4 times up close. The times that I've used it, even when my team didn't do so well and we failed to get the win, it did fine, all things considered. At most, I would say the Nero doesn't need a buff so much to improve its performance, but so it won't be so easily overlooked by most of the player base. Beyond that, if you want to take the training wheels off and have some fun, the Nero could be a good choice. Hey everyone, I just want to say thank you all for watching my videos. I appreciate you all for sticking around. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Join us if you haven't subscribed already. This is a laid-back community for players just trying to enjoy the game, and we encourage using whatever suits you want to use, even if the majority of players think it's a bad suit. As always, this has been Mobile Suit K9, signing off now.